Hey, welcome to Tabletop Skirmish Games. I'm Lee, and in this video you'll see a KR Cases multi-case review for the Necrons. Last week I did a KR Cases review for the ASTRA MILITARUM, but now it's time to take a look at a great storage and transport option for your Necron army. A massive thank you to KR Cases for sending me out this collection for the Necrons, and I'll be collaborating with them over the next few weeks. We've already seen the Astra Militarum, but we're also going to have a look at Kill Team and Space Marines, and that'll be perfect for Space Wolves and also Chaos Space Marines too, so lots more to come. But in this video we're going to focus on the Necrons, so I'll show you how the system works, we'll have a look at how the foam's made to fit the exact models, and I'll also show you how to get these long weapons in the foam and keep it nice and safe. The first step is to visit the TRAYSELECTOR section on the KR Cases website, and I covered this in a how to use the TRAYSELECTOR video last week, so that's up on the channel already. I definitely recommend checking that out, but here you can see I've got all my tabs set up for my different armies. So I've got the Necrons, and this shows the 3 card cases and all the foam trays for each one. And these are the ones that we'll be using in this video, so you'll see them in action, and hopefully by the end of the video have a really good idea about how the system works. So you can scroll down, you can see we've got the 3 card cases here. It gives you all the different models that will fit in the trays within those cases, and you can choose the colour too. Now for the Necrons, KR Cases selected the green foam for me, and that was a great move because it just looks really vibrant and it's perfect to store the Necrons in. Here you can see all the codes, and those codes are the trays that relate to the different ones that are listed in the little window to the right. So that's going to show you exactly which models go where. Then you're going to order them and they get delivered like this. You'll get your KR multi-case boxes, and in those boxes will be the trays, and then you'll be able to put all the models that you've selected the trays for comfortably in them. So let's get started. We'll have a look at all the models I've got so far, and I'm putting together the Imperium collection, but I've also bought a load of these scarabs because I really like them alongside these canoptic spiders, and I've got 3 or 4 of those as well, so I'll be doing some combat patrol battles with those and doing some little narrative themes too, so can't wait for that. Got lots of other models, various sizes. Still got some of the bigger ones to come though, but these are the fiddliest ones, the flayed ones, very fragile, so I'll show you how comfortably and safely they're stored. I've still got a couple of sprues of Necron warriors to build, so I'll be adding that to the mix, and I've also got one of the other canoptic spiders here, so I'll have 4 altogether. Can't wait to get that assembled. Let's have a look at what the box looks like when you get it. So it arrives like this, and you just push the handle in and then that clicks open. And then inside you're going to get a thin piece of foam as your protective layer on the top, and then all the foam trays that match the ones you would have chosen from the tray selector. So let's grab a tray out and we'll have a look at it. So you'll see that the trays have all got little pieces of foam still in them, but they're already cut out. So for the shape and size of the models, these are cut perfectly to store them so they don't move around much when you're moving them around and carrying them. And so you can carry them upside down, on the side, whatever you like, and they're going to be well protected. And basically you just pull out these foam inserts. They've all been cut already, so they come out nice and easily like that, and then you can just get rid of those. I keep them. I've used them even in battle reports for dungeon walls in the past because a lot of the foam is grey, which is great for that kind of thing. Good for painting as well. Even give them to the kids to do some stamping with and things like that. So yeah, I'm sure you can think of some uses for all these chunky pieces of foam, but you do get quite a lot left over, especially when you've got a few of the card cases full of the trays. So now we've got our first card case and set of trays ready to go, and this relates to this one that we saw on the tray selector on the KR Cases website. So you simply pop your models in there, and some of those weapons are going to fit in nicely. Some might overhang a little bit, but you can tuck it in because this is quite bendy. So that's one way to do it. I'll show you another way to do it where you snip the foam later on, because we'll need to do that for some of the death marks with their longer weapons. But as you can see, they all fit nice and snug, and that foam is so soft that it's not putting too much pressure on those fragile parts. Now we've got these bigger sections, and these are great for your other models. So we've got these guys, the Scorpec destroyers. They're going to sit in there really nicely. So these ones go straight in vertically rather than on their side. And then you've got all the main characters which can fit in lots of the different sections. I found these are quite a tall army, very fragile as well. So this is a great way to do it. You can see it fits in nice and snug there. And this guy as well, it's got the right width for that large gun that he carries around. So we can put this little one in there if we want to. And then that big section, I haven't got that model yet. I'm waiting for that from the Imperium collection. So I'll be adding that once I get it. But all our Scorpec destroyers fit really nicely in there. Until I get the model, I tend to leave the foam inserts in these, but I've just took it out to show you what happens. But we'll pop this one in here and then we'll shut it all up so you can see what happens when it's all close together. This one will go on the top so it all fits in really well, and then we'll put that protective sheet back over the top. Again, this is nice and flexible, so if that weapon is sticking up a little bit, that foam is going to mold over it, and then with the protection of the box, once it's closed, snapped in place with the handle, that's going to really look after those fiddly pieces. Now we're on to the second tray that we saw on the tray selector on the website, and the same thing, you'll get that protective piece. Now this is one big chunky piece of foam there, and then this one is going to be for the scarabs, so we'll take some of those out, and those scarabs are all going to fit in nicely. Now I've got quite a few of these, I've got 12, so I'll be looking to maybe even pick up some more. I think I've got another 3 to build as well, so I'll certainly fill these 15 slots right away. And then these ones are designed for some of the larger models, and these you pluck out the pieces that you don't want. So if you want to create it to fit the model precisely, you'll just take out the little sections of foam here, and they just tear away really easily. Or they're all scored, so there's only like little bits attaching the foam pieces in, so you can just rip them out with your hand. You might need to snip some of them out with the scissors, that's no problem, and then you can cut it the exact shape of the model you want to put in. Same with this big fat piece here, that's going to get one of the really big models, so you just tear out these pieces of foam and then that's going to fit in there, no problem. Now we're on to the third and final box that we saw on the tray selector, and this is going to have 3 trays for all our Necron warriors, and this one for the Canoptic spiders, my favourite models from the whole army so far. So yeah, really looking forward to giving these a go. And so you tear out those foam inserts, and then they're ready to go. You can pop them in, and these fit perfectly. So really well done this, and that's going to be well protected. Now there's a really cool thing they've done here for the stands, and as you can see, there's 4 little dots going down the middle, and so you can get the stand and then pop it upside down inside there. How cool is that? So that's really great, so you can just store that nicely. That flexible foam piece is going to go over the top, and that's going to really look after all that. And then let's take some of these out, and I'll put some of the flayed ones in just so you can see how this works with some really fragile models. With the exception of some Warcry models, these are probably the most fragile ones I've got, so I'm being really careful here. But you just move it around until it fits in. It looks like it's not going to fit in, but each one does go in there in a specific way. So I'm just going to twist it until I find it. So there we go, that's in place. And then some of the others go right in nice and easy. So they're all going to go in there, and then there may be a little bit poking out, but again, that foam on the top is just going to mold it. But just be extra careful with those flayed ones because they are very fragile. So once that goes on top, we click the lid shut, and again, that card is that extra barrier. And don't forget, all these are going to go inside the bag. This week's video, I did a review of the Kaiser 2 transport bag for these cases to go inside of. That was for the ASTRA MILITARUM. I've also done a comparison video with the NAVARA case, also made by KR Cases. So there's a couple of videos if you want to check out some detailed ones that go into those transport bags, because they really are awesome. Now we've covered all the card cases and the foam trays, let's have a look at how to get some of these more fragile ones in a bit closer. So we've got another flayed one here, so it really is a case of twisting it and just getting it in there, but it will fit. So all the flayed ones are going to fit nicely, and you can see it just touches up a little bit, so just be very careful there. But again, that nice foam piece on the top is so bendy and flexible, it's going to mold around it, and that's going to be fine once it's shut. But now let's have a look at the death marks, because they've got these long weapons and they're going to be a bit more tricky to get inside. So as you can see, as I lay it down, that weapon's going to hang over. So we need to snip that foam, and then that's going to tuck it in nicely. Now you could leave it hanging over the foam like that and then pushing it on, but it does stick up a little bit too much, and I would worry that that might break off. So just be careful with that. So what I'm going to do is just take some scissors and then line it up, make a snip, and then that tucks it in really well there. So that's not going anywhere. It's not going to stick up too much. It's definitely not going to snap off. And I can just work the line along putting all the models in until we get to the end. And so when I get to the end, I'm going to turn the model upside down, and then I can make another snip there. And so I'll have 2 snips in one piece of the foam, and then those weapons are all going to go in and overlap the models. And that's fine, that works no problem with these death marks. And I've also done that with my Space Wolves, because they've got a lot of the axes, especially Aryak Rockfist with that hammer of his. But there we go, that goes in, and nice and easy, all secure. And so now we can put that flexible piece over the top, and you know they're going to be well protected. There we go, that's covered the KR multi-case system for the Necrons now. And I'll put some links in the description below that will take you to the KR Cases website, where you can take a look at all the different products they offer for all the different game systems, have a look at the transport bag, and then also have a look at that tray selector. And at the end of this video, I'll link to the tray selector video that goes through how that tool works, because it's really helpful and it'll get you ordering in no time. Thanks again to KR Cases for sending me out these boxes and foam trays and the bags to store all my models in. And next week I'll be reviewing the cases for the Space Marines, which you can also use for the Chaos Space Marines, which is an army I've recently been building. So that's going to be a real fun one. A big thanks to you for watching the video, and I really hope this has been helpful as an introduction to the KR Cases for the Necrons. If you liked the video, please hit the like button. Go and check out KR Cases with the links in the description. Subscribe for more videos like this, and don't forget to also hit that notification bell to join me next time on Tabletop Skirmish Games. I'd like to say a huge thank you to my Patreon supporters who make these daily videos possible, and if you're interested in joining the community, it'd be awesome to see you there, and I'll put a link for that in the description down below.